Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Listen Up Podcast. It is your boy Brandon.
This is your boy Sam.
Hey, man, we're back with another episode, man. And just like I guess we've been doing it for the last 15 weeks, we don't even know what losing podcasts feel like. We don't know how to cover losing teams, and we don't know nothing about these losing programs. So, I mean, another 24-7 win. Florida State is victorious once again. Sam, I guess before we dive in it, man, what are your thoughts about college football, man? I thought a lot of people feel like Florida State getting dropped this week. A lot of people feeling like resumes and records has been disputed on your favorite talk shows and sports shows, man. Does it even matter at this point?
No. Most of the
Yes.
stuff is just talking banter that has to happen every single year.
Yeah.
You know, I think I said that whole thing about when you talk about dominant teams. I was like, yeah, it's August and September. You know, these teams reveal themselves a little later in the season. So I think FSU is about where they need to be at.
Right.
I wouldn't even worry about them dropping too low. If they do drop, I don't really think it matters because if Florida State wins out, which in my opinion, the way the schedule is breaking down now, you'll be favored against every team you play, including if you play in North Carolina or Louisville, you'll be favored against both. So I think you're going to have an undefeated regular season. You have an undefeated regular season, you're Florida State, you get in the playoffs.
No way they'll keep Florida State out.
Right. So
Brand too big.
So all this hand wringing over what rank you is or what rank you not doesn't really matter. I think the only thing the polls are the college football playoffs is really saying is that they don't value these ACC teams. So you do have to win out. You can't lose a game. That's basically what they're saying. That's all they're really saying.
That's exactly what they're saying. They're
They
basically
pretty much telling the
Yeah.
Pac-12 the same thing.
Correct. We taking an undefeated team. We don't respect what you have in this conference. We don't respect the fact that Boston College is a good team this season. We ain't never watched Boston College play, so we don't care.
Right.
We don't care whether or not Clemson beat Notre Dame. That win didn't matter. We don't think Notre Dame is very good either. So you know what I mean?
Right.
Like they don't care. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so at this point, they think it's Florida State beating up on bad teams as years of old. Even though I think the ACC is a very good conference this season. So in my opinion, what's happening is they're getting overlooked. They're getting overshadowed, and they'll, like you said, they may continue to fall. I doubt it, but even if they do, it don't matter because, like you said,
so.
If Florida State goes undefeated, wins the ACC, they are not keeping Florida State the ACC championship out of the game after out of the playoffs if they go undefeated. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah, I think the only scary scenario, and I said this, if Bama beat Georgia in the SEC championship game,
which Bama's, I think, probably going to beat Georgia.
Yeah, I don't know, maybe. If they beat them, then to me, I think they're going to put both of them in the
No way.
college football playoffs.
You're not. Well, it depends on who else is still. So okay,
because then
so
you talk about
that way, right?
Then you're talking about a one loss, either Ohio State,
right,
or a one loss Michigan.
And
whoever has that one loss,
they out.
Well, no,
Michigan, Michigan, Ohio State are playing for a playoff spot.
I'm sorry, it'll be an undefeated Michigan, Ohio, if they're undefeated.
Right.
But whoever wins the Big Ten is going to get in.
Correct.
Like the polls in the college football playoffs since it's been alive has slanted towards the Big Ten in the SEC. It's done that every single year. So you're going to get the Big Ten representative. That's happening. So now you got Florida State, the Big Ten, and 2 SEC teams. Because then you're talking about, I think Oregon's going to beat Washington in a rematch.
Okay.
That's what I think is going to happen. I think Oregon's going to beat them in a rematch because I think it's hard to beat a team like Oregon twice.
I agree with that.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree.
So now the team that they're going to get left out is probably going to be like a one-loss Texas or a one-loss Oregon or a one-loss, you know what I'm saying? Washington.
Yeah.
That's how I think it's going to end up playing out. So if Florida State going undefeated, they're getting in. But I'm just saying the scary scenario is that you got Alabama and Georgia. You know what I'm saying? Some way the road there is going to be kind of tough. But, you know.
We'll see. I mean, listen, it's all going to shake out. And I guess the best thing about that is Florida State is in control of its own destiny, which is Out of teams,
I think
again,
Murray just put
team that will
Texas.
be
He said Texas beat Bama, but yeah, but they're gonna say Bama's win
over
over
Georgia.
Georgia would mean more than what Texas did beating Bama. I mean, that's
Yeah,
what they're gonna say. You know what I'm saying?
that's definitely what
That's
they're gonna
what they're
say.
gonna say, and
That's
they're
definitely
gonna
what they're gonna say. I don't
say
even think you can question.
Georgia. They're gonna say Georgia was dominant the whole season, and they'll say something like they lost their best player, and you know what I'm saying? Like they'll get weird with
Oh
it.
no, they
Yeah,
again they're gonna figure out a way to dance around the fact that Bama getting if Bama's close, if they 4 or 5, they getting in. I don't know who getting slighted. It won't be Florida State because Florida State will be undefeated.
right,
And again, and that's the great place that Florida State has put themselves in. Just
right,
keep winning. Like it don't really even matter how you win. If you go undefeated, you will be in the playoffs. There's no way possible they can out what it called come up with some sort of rationale as to why Florida State shouldn't be in it. Oh, the close wins, this and the third. There's no
right.
way possible, regardless. And Louisville has done enough right now to where it actually may look like a respectable game. And I keep saying it. Louisville keep that offense. That offense is tough. A team with a powerful offense is the only team that I really thought I would be like have a real feel of. And we thought that was North Carolina, but North Carolina's offense is very inconsistent at this point. Louisville looks legit. We'll see though. We'll
Yeah,
see.
yeah.
But anyway, Florida State used this again as a glorified scrimmage. Looks like they decided to sit a bunch of guys. I haven't seen anybody on the injury report that still has told me what was wrong with I guess any of the guys who was
But we
out.
never get injury
Yeah,
report.
but I'm just saying, like at least
I
you could
mean,
be like again, we knew that it looked like something happened to Johnny a couple weeks ago, so we can say, all right, we've nursed this injury. We have no idea what happened to Keon Coleman, what happened to what Hakeem Williams, what happened to who else didn't play? Like again, it appeared to the people on Twitter and everywhere else that Florida State chose to rest players. I get it, it's Pitt,
right.
so they chose to rest players. In my opinion, this game was probably one of the more impressive games for me because of the fact they didn't have no receivers. Like when you get down to your third best receivers now has to be your number one,
Mm-hmm.
and your fifth best receiver has to be now number two. I think that presents really, really strong challenges for any team. And the
Mm-hmm.
fact that Jordan Travis, again, took him a minute because you got to find rhythm, but took him a minute, but eventually made through some excellent balls. Receivers got open, Morlock played a hell of a game. He utilized the tight ends, they kind of shut down the running backs on purpose. They came out with the idea, we're not letting you get these running backs, off in the flat. We know that's what you're gonna try to do. They pinned their ears back. Pitt did, but Pitt has an aggressive defense. We knew that. I looked at this game and thought it was very impressive for Jordan Travis basically to put the team on his back and win the game. Had over almost over 500 yards.
I thought this was like actually the most impressive game they probably played to me, to be honest with you.
Same.
I think this game, in my opinion, answered a lot of questions I had after every game. The fact they was able to do some different things, they went to some RPO in the game.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like I said, the run game is the run game, man. It's just. I mean, we can say teams are loading up and doing all this special stuff. They really not. They just beating them up front when it come to running the football. They just,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, the offensive line is not playing what we thought the offensive line, how the
yeah.
offensive
I
line
think
was.
somebody talking about is the offensive line bad or whatever. I don't think it's bad. I think it's playing like the same it played last year. I just don't think it made the jump we thought it was gonna make. I thought, we kind of thought the offensive line would be a lot better. I don't think they're playing worse than last year. I just think
They hit their ceiling.
yeah, I mean, they hit their ceiling. I just don't think they're a great offensive line. They do enough good things. Then
They do.
you got Jordan Travis' legs that kind of hold defenses up a little bit too. So that creates enough space. You can't hit some run game, you know what I'm saying? But I thought the patience Jordan showed after like the fourth or fifth drive, I thought was pretty good. And I thought that was probably his best game this year to me, in my opinion.
This was my favorite Jordan Travis game, I think, in a long time because Jordan didn't really I expected Jordan to have to run. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
All right, you ain't got no receivers, Jordan. Put on your back, take off, and just, this will be a game where you run for 150 yards or whatever because you had to. He didn't. He dropped back and just started dropping dimes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He figured out the speed of those new receivers. It took him a few series to understand the timing because again, he's not used to throwing to Williamson. He's not used to throwing to Destin Hill. He's not used to throwing A lot of these guys, man. Again, it was a very impressive win by Jordan Travis for me. I know he won't get the credit. They only scored 24 points, the 30-point streak, and all that other stuff. But for me, this was the game that I looked at Jordan Travis and said, all right, if you're gonna tell me Jordan can do that with these backup guys, with a group who he's not cohesive with, where your running game is gone, they've taken away the short passing game, and you figured out a way to do it.
Yeah.
Oh man, it really does say, all right, well, Florida State's ceiling is absolutely national championship, because you're telling me that they really can't be stopped as an offense. You weren't supposed to score. You weren't supposed to score 30 points. You probably weren't even supposed to go 24. If we really being honest, you know what I mean? If we really being honest about it, what that defense of how Pitt's defense operates, which again, not a terrible defense. And then also the fact that you were down so many players at so many key positions, where your strength of your team is your wide receivers. We've known all season long we can't run the football. All we have is passing. And the fact that you can lose all your top receivers, including 2 first-round NFL guys, or at least 2 NFL wide receivers, it says a lot about what this team can be. It shows a lot about what this team is right now. And boy, it shows how dialed in they are, because let me tell you something. Defensively, I keep wanting to say this defense is, Adam Fuller and all sorts of stuff, but just keeping teams from scoring. You know what I mean? Like it don't necessarily look the greatest. It don't always. There's some weird things that happen at weird times, but you can't deny the results at this point. You know what I mean? Like the defense is legit very good, based on just. And I hate looking at numbers, but when you watch the game, 7 points. They gave them 7 points in a college football game. I don't care who the quarterback or who the teams are. It's difficult to do. And another shutout in the second half. Difficult to do.
Yeah, I think the defense. I mean, they pretty good. I mean, I don't know, man. It's hard for me to judge this defense. But
it
LSU,
really is, though.
But I go back to the LSU game and I say they did a really good job in the second half of the LSU game. That's kind of why I'm kind of at with them. So I kind of be like, they pretty good. It's a good defense. It's not a bad defense. It's a good defense. You know what I'm saying? And then they can play against another team. They're gonna play Miami this week, and that quarterback is reeling. So I expect them to have another great game this weekend.
Really is an understatement.
Yeah, I
mean, they're in a bad position. They got a quarterback who's lost all confidence. The boy sacked himself, and you're talking about if the other option is going to a freshman against that defense in that environment. You gonna throw a freshman into that?
Yeah,
boy, you asking for that kid to get killed. You asking for a hell of a lot out of a freshman to throw a freshman in that spot. In my opinion, I can't see how Mario takes that. You know what I mean? How Mario can just make the decision to put in the freshman in that situation. You're gonna see TBD. I just can't. I mean, what you think?
I don't know. If it was me, where they at now? They got 6 wins. I think they 6-3.
I'll look it up.
I think they 6-3. If I was him, I probably would play the freshman.
No,
I would play the freshman.
You don't believe in killing confidence of your young guys then? Or your young quarterbacks?
What you mean? No. I mean, if you can kill the confidence of your young quarterback, I mean, he probably wasn't confident to begin with.
They're 6-3.
Yeah. So if I'm him, I play my young guy, because at this point for Mario, it's all about next season now, right? Because you got 6. Some kind of way, I think they're gonna squeeze out another win. I think they get to 7 some kind of way. I think they'll beat some. I think they'll beat some team they ain't got no business beating. Which I think, well, I ain't gonna say that, because I think they can beat Boston College. I ain't gonna say they won't beat Boston College, but I think you play the young guy, try to win 7, get to 7, and get to your bowl and try to win 8 in the bowl. And I think if they get to 8, that's a pretty decent season. It's not great, but it doesn't kill you perspective wise. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm Miami, that's probably what I would do. Go ahead and start the new regime, man. Get your young quarterback going, because that's what you're gonna be playing with next year. Because that guy's not gonna be able to take you where you want to go at.
Sam, you understand? Florida State is 9-0.
Yeah.
Listen, first of all, I don't disagree with what you're saying. Let me start off by saying I don't disagree with what you're saying.
But it doesn't matter who they play.
This season is over with. I agree with you.
Okay.
You want to throw your quarterback out there in a situation where Doak Campbell is. I mean, you're gonna find out who he is quickly, because you are talking about a blitz, a defense who are already gonna blitz because they know they're gonna have to in order to get pressure. Because Miami's offensive line is very good. Like this, if we really want to talk about the game itself, Miami's offensive line is good. Now it doesn't mean anything because they don't have a quarterback who can throw it. But Miami's offensive line is good. Well, they're going to more than likely blitz to bring pressure. You're going to throw your new quarterback, your young freshman quarterback, into Doak Campbell Stadium. 3:30 not a night game, but it's 3:30 and it's getting dark at 6 now. You know what I mean? So a night game. All right.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, like I'm just saying, I wouldn't put my quarterback in that situation. In my opinion, I would let Trevor Van Dyke see what he can do. Again, you're not, like you said, you're not winning it either way. But one of these guys, is going out to pasture, and one of these guys is supposed to be your future. I'm not going to put my future out there against Florida State.
Yeah, I mean, but it doesn't matter. Like, you're not going to win the game. So your time is about getting ready for next year. Yeah. So then you got three to 4 games for next year. Yeah. It's time to start developing your quarterback now. You put him out there in a road game. Okay, it's a road game. Okay, it's going to be tough. But if I'm Mario, my expectations is not really, we'll go in there and see how the kid plays. And if he plays good, and Mario, if I'm Mario, which I thought they should have did last week against NC State, they should have ran the ball like crazy. For some reason, it's been weird to me to watch him because people keep saying Mario puts his imprint on the offense and he want to run. They haven't been really run heavy the last 2 weeks that I've watched them. They've been throwing the ball a lot, like in a lot of weird situations. So if I'm him, I just run the ball a lot. I try to shorten the game, and hell, if I can get to the fourth quarter, I'll take that. You know what I'm saying? Like, just get to the fourth quarter. So, but I don't think they're going to win the game anyway, because I don't think you can beat Florida State. If you can't throw body blows at Florida State as far as getting touchdowns,
you got to score quick.
Then you're not gonna really beat them. So if it's me, I mean, because you got this game, they got Louisville, they got Boston College, and I forgot who the other team they got. So that's 4 games. Plus you're gonna have a bowl prep week, your bowl game. I mean, that's essentially damn near a month to get him ready for next season, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? Because next season, everybody gonna make their declaration. Next season, gonna be like, "Hey, is this shit gonna go according to plan, or is it not?"
Here's the thing: it don't matter. They stuck with him. Miami, what do you got? 10 years? Miami, you ain't going nowhere. Like, listen, understand. Like what you, I think you tweeted out earlier. Y'all embrace the suck. Y'all better get used to it, boy. Yeah, like he's not. Again, we didn't think he was a very good coach. We knew that in game. We thought he was a hell of a recruiter. We said that. And we seeing these in games. Like, it's just him and Billy. Both of them guys seem like they just don't know what be happening in the middle of these games.
See, Mario and Billy is 2 different situations to me, because to me, Billy has an organizational issue. Like, I mean, Mario didn't take that knee that one time. But other than that, I don't really think Mario's been like Billy can't get guys on the field. They can't get like they got like a lot of things that just shouldn't really be happening. You know what I'm saying?
Billy is a lot more Willie Taggart-ish. Yeah, I don't think Mario's running it like Willie is.
Nah. I mean, Mario's getting his guys on. He's getting the right amount of guys on the field at all times. They come in games with plans. I mean, he just got a quarterback that's just killing him. Anytime they get momentum, the quarterback kills them. So, because somebody was talking about, well, there was a Florida fan saying they're talking about, well, we're in a better position because we got a quarterback coming in. I said, bro, you talking about a quarterback that ain't signed on the dotted lines yet. Counting recruits before they come in when you're having a bad season, as an FSU fan, I can tell you that's not a good idea. I'm gonna tell you,
this season this season go off the rails. Which again, Florida's probably not winning another game this season. I don't even know what would be their best opportunity to win. LSU maybe.
Cool.
And I don't think that's like for Florida. I'm saying they don't have an opportunity.
LSU.
They're not beating Missouri, and they're not beating us. So at this point, you get to 5 and you gonna roll up 5 and 7. You are gonna miss a bowl game. That quarterback gonna start hearing offers. I don't care what anybody said.
Yeah, I remember when we were going through that same thing. People are like, oh, we keep them reclass. Look at nobody decommit. I'm like, decommitment season don't start until December.
Right.
Yeah. So
yeah.
Don't worry about all that.
You're a little early for the decommitment letter.
Yeah, you're a little early.
They must start after that Florida game, and that letter get to coming in. Then you start seeing those tweets out. Please
So
respect my decision. Yeah, respect my decision. Season starting December.
Right. So I definitely think they got two different issues though. Florida and Miami got two separate issues. Like
They
to
definitely do.
me, Florida quarterback, like they keep saying they won't be able to get an offensive coordinator. I don't think he's calling bad games. I think he's calling game up to the potential of his team. I don't think they, you know, but at the same time, you got to get more. You got to get your special team countdown. Like, I mean, this same thing with Willie. I was like, I could defend you, Willie, at all times, but when you can't get the right number of people on special teams,
multiple times a game.
Yeah, that's one of those things that
you call a timeout and then throw out 10 guys on the field.
Yeah, that's things that you can't depend. Like when you're not doing that, those are fireable offenses. But I don't think they're gonna fire him. Like I said, he shouldn't worry until they fire Scott Strickland. Once they fire Scott Strickland, then he need to start getting ready to start packing shit up. Yeah, so I mean that's just all to that.
Their defense is also horrible as well. Yeah, we're gonna roll up. We're gonna roll up prepare another 45 down there in the swamp. Yeah, we hitting them for 45 again. Again, if everybody's back, which it seems like Mike is at this point. I don't know if he what is called bench restriction or whatever it is. He doing load management with our teammates with our team. Cool, but it better win, man. Just keep winning.
Well, I heard there was different reasons for certain guys sitting down. I ain't get into all that because that ain't none of my business, but.
Let me ask you, what do you, again, without knowing anything, we know nothing about what actually happened or whatever. How do you feel that the fact that they do continue to, we've seen overly rest guys for opponents that they don't feel can beat them?
I don't think they're overly resting people. I think Johnny Wilson had a concussion.
I believe that. But because Johnny Wilson had played, if we were playing Miami last week, would Johnny Wilson have played?
I don't know. I don't know. I really don't.
Would Keon Coleman have played?
I don't want to get into the Keon Coleman situation. I don't know.
I mean, you sound like you know more, like you know something I don't know.
Well,
there's more going on with Keon Coleman.
I'm just saying I don't want to get into all that. I'm just saying I don't know. I think there was gonna be a game where Keon Coleman sat on the sidelines for a game. I'll put it like that. I don't know when that game would have came, but I think it was going to be a game where he sat on the sidelines like that. I would say that. That makes sense.
It makes sense to me, but I kind of get an idea of what you're saying. You know what I mean? Like, all right, so, well, no, I ain't even gonna go there because I was gonna lead the witness. All right, so I guess here's what I'll say. I do feel like there are times where we do get a little cute with who we're sitting. At the same, again, it's kind of it feels like a lot like Mike a little bit, right? Well, Mike will sometimes get a little cute with his play call. He'll get a little cute with his in-game decisions or whatever it is. We saw him do it at the time as well. In my opinion, I think they got to treat all these games like, again, like you said, right? You said it, I think, a few weeks ago. You got to start creating good habits, championship habits. You want to win a championship. I can't afford for Keon to decide he don't feel like playing this game, or I'm not saying that's what happened. We have no idea, or that's not what he's saying. I'm just saying, but whatever happened with Keon, we're not sitting Keon. You know what I mean? We're not sitting Johnny just because Johnny don't, you know what I mean? Again, if he got a concussion, he in a dark room. He was in the loud stadium. That don't, you know what I mean? He out of concussion protocols. That was 2 weeks ago. He seemed fine. Again, I'm not a doctor. I ain't studying his head. I'm just going based off of the things I know about concussion. So what I'm saying is, it appeared as if we looked at Pitt and said, them boys cheeks. And I agree. We all looked at them and said they were cheeks. And I looked, and even that, I think before the game, we found out they weren't playing. You tweeted out, dog, what are we doing here? It's Pitt. And I was like, I think they're going to struggle a little bit because, again, it's going to take them a minute to figure out who's going to be the offense. And it basically still had your two tight ends. And that's a good luxury to have when you still got three tight ends who can all, you know what I mean, who can all play for you, who can all get yards, who can score touchdowns. And then you can still throw it to some of these other, your third, fourth, fifth, sixth wide receiver on the depth chart. A good problem to have. But I don't know. I'm nitpicking, right? Because they won the game 24-7 game, in my opinion. Even when it was sluggish, it was never in doubt. I don't think at any point in time we looked up and thought Pitt was going to score enough points to beat us. I'm just saying it does feel like at times that we've seen just a lack of respect for opponent. I feel like I've said that 6, 7, 8 times now. Where
they have a lack of respect for the opponents? I don't think that's true.
Yeah. 100%.
I don't think that's true.
I'm 100% in belief that they will absolutely look at opponents, look at the game film, and just be like, we're gonna beat them, and then call the game accordingly. We've seen them take the foot off the game. All right, 20. It's, again, we talked about it. They were up 28, 20, 21, 7, 28, 3 or something like that. And then all of a sudden they dial it off, take the foot off the game. All right, this game's over with, guys. Hit the showers. And you see it almost like they dial it all the way back down again. The play calling changes. The offense stalls. You can't figure out what's happening with the team. And then it's like, now again, that's not this week. That's not this week. But in the past, and then it feels like, all right, now you got to get it back up again to try to win it. And I just feel like it comes from, and maybe it's boredom. Maybe I'm wrong. You know what I mean? I don't mind being wrong. Maybe it's boredom. I don't know. It just feels like at times they don't.
But when you say things like that about a team, that's a team that's won. That's like a team
because
like
they're good.
But that's a team like Bama or Georgia that's won national championships. Like they can throttle up and throttle down. I don't think that's necessarily. Like I've said, I just think the guys that FSU substituted in to rest the other guys they're not that good. And I'm not saying like they're not that good as far as saying.
I get what you're saying.
I just don't think they are at the level of when Georgia substitute guys. I mean, it was the last 2 years, like they were substituting one first rounder for the next potential first rounder. You know what I'm saying?
True.
So that's a different level of substitute. I don't think you're substituting guys that have those high ceilings. You know what I'm saying? So that's why the play drops off, because the player drops off. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think it's a lack of focus. I mean, I think they're doing the best they can, and I think
I can respect that.
We get to this place where I think where we're gonna win these games, and I thought the last game was a good example of like, okay, this team, to me, they can play left-handed, they can play right-handed, they can do some different things when they have to. That's encouraging stuff to me. It doesn't change the offensive line. You know, it doesn't change some other things that when I look at them and compare them to the other great teams and say, well, what do they fit in these categories, in these scenarios? Well, I don't really know. It's going to have to play out on the field. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just going to have to play out on the field.
You mean like how they compare against like a Michigan or
Michigan, Ohio
Georgia,
State, Alabama, Georgia, Texas. You know what I'm saying? It's something that's just going to have to play out on the field. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what you can take. I don't know what you can take from beating 4-win Wake Forest team.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what you can.
Here's what you could take though. Let me try. I'm gonna just push back.
Now, if you beat
Can
Wake
you
Forest,
not take the fact that they gonna score on anybody?
Well, you know I guess my point is though, if you beat Wake Forest, if it's 28-0, come out the first quarter, then you almost 35-7 by the end of the second quarter. Yeah, you can be like, damn, this team is like really rolling because the guys behind them is like really rolling too. Like there's a lot of depth of talent there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I don't really know if any team have that type of depth of talent. I mean, Michigan has kind of, when they play an inferior opponent, they kind of smothered them to death. Missouri, people complain about Georgia struggling with Missouri, but Missouri is a pretty good football team. That's one of those games you just beat Florida, and then you come out there and basically beat them by 2 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns. I think they beat them by the end of it.
Mm-hmm.
To me, that's Georgia being Georgia. Like that's 2 really good wins back to back to me. You know, because you do have to get up for the Florida game, right? And then you put them back in their coffin. So I mean, I give you credit for that. Bama ain't great, but I don't like. You don't really want to play a Nick Saban team with him giving him 4-5 weeks to prepare for you either, though, right? Because you know what he can do with that, right? You know what I'm saying? So we'll see.
I think see. As I look around, I guess the college football landscape, and Florida State's gonna score on anybody. I think Georgia presents a problem just because I do think that their defense line can be very disruptive to the point where you cannot get, you know what I mean? You can't get enough offensive plays consistently enough to where, you know, maybe they hold you to 28. You know what I mean? You're gonna still score because Florida State's gonna score, I think, on anybody, but maybe they hold you to 28, they can get to 31. Same for Bama. You know what I mean? Maybe they can hold you to something and get to a number that can beat you. But I look around, Michigan gonna have to play somebody for me to really, believe in them.
Right.
Ohio State, I offensively, I would pick our defense against their offense, and I'm gonna pick our offense against anybody. So I mean, you look around again. I told you what I feel about Washington. I line it up. So I don't know. You know what I mean? I look around college football, and I'm saying if there ever was a year for Florida State to backdoor their way into a championship, and I don't really mean backdoor, but nobody would have
I don't
picked them
think
to
it'll
start
be
the season.
backdooring. I don't think it'll be backdooring. I think FSU played a good schedule.
I don't mean backdoor like they snuck in. I mean like at the beginning of the season, I don't think nobody in Florida State picked Florida State to win a championship, is what I'm saying. That's the season. That's what I mean. Like in a season where nobody would have picked them to win a championship, it's a very good year to where they can sneak and win the championship in a year where nobody expected them to. That's what I mean.
Right. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. So what else you got?
Nah, man. So I think FSU beats Miami pretty soundly. I think it's 31-10. I think they beat them 31-10. I do think Miami going to get stops early. I think they get some stops early. But
Definitely.
I think FSU kind of overwhelms them in the second half and put up points by the second half. But I wouldn't be surprised if it's a pretty close, pretty tight game and going into the half. That wouldn't surprise me. But I think we'd be more like 3-14 or something like that going into the half, or 7-17 going into the half. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I can see that.
And I think then FSU cuts it on the second half like they normally do. And but it's gonna be interesting to watch the offense versus Miami's defense. I don't expect for our defense. Without blitzing, I don't think we're gonna create a lot of havoc unless we blitz against them. They are pretty good against the across the line of scrimmage, so they are pretty good. I mean, it's gonna be a pretty good game,
Right.
but they just don't have a quarterback play that really gonna threaten you, that you guys should lose the game. So I think FSU wins pretty easily. Actually,
Yeah, I could definitely see it 17-7 going into halftime. I think a 7-7 early, 7-7 early to make it feel like something. And then it gets, like you said, field goal, touchdown before the half, get the ball back. And we're a second half team. I actually have it at, what I think, 45-17, 45-24, somewhere around there. I think
yeah.
Florida State, the second half, they score at least 3 touchdowns. I think somebody put in the chat that they don't expect Mike to call the dogs off. I'm kind of with that as well. I don't believe Mike's gonna call the dogs off this game. I think every time he plays Miami, he wants to send the message is important. I think he's gonna do the same thing against Florida as well. I think he wants to send a message. I don't think he was happy with how they played last year. But we'll talk about that when we get there. Yeah, I got Florida State winning 45-17. 45-24, somewhere around, like, maybe a late touchdown or something like that. But I also don't see it being a challenge. The problem with Miami is the fact that they're not going to be able to score enough points. And even as good as their offensive line is, they don't do anything well on offense. Like, they run the ball decent, but they don't run the ball enough to actually, stick with it. They don't throw the ball at all because their quarterback has no confidence. And if Sam is right and they decide, all right, the TVD era is over with and we're going to roll out with this freshman, then it's going to what Ty got at 38-3, it can look 38-3. I think they'll really, really, really struggle to score if you starting a freshman and you bring him in that environment. I think he's going to really struggle in what would be probably the craziest environment he's played in, I'm sure. So yeah, I got Florida State winning fairly easy. I think we got some couple questions down here as well. KJ, great. This is a game we need Jordan to throw the ball away if you got your hair hung in there. Now that's true as well. That's a very good point. Jordan will absolutely take an unnecessary hits from time to time. This is not one of those games where you need Jordan to, take an unnecessary hit, man. Because one thing about Jordan, he take a big hit. He gonna nurse it for a couple series. He gonna head to the
Well, I
locker
don't
room.
think he'll do that. I think I was making a joke with
You don't think
somebody.
this game?
I think Jordan be doing that so he can avoid that 50-yard line halftime speech before we go into the locker room, which is unnecessary. That will forever be funny to me.
Not Jordan fake the injury to go. Nah, man. But no, for real though. I think Jordan. This is one of those games, man. Jordan, slide. You've been sliding all season. Slide. Look to run when necessary. Those little yards. And boy, oh boy, we missed Keon Coleman back there at punt return because Lord have mercy. If I watched that ball hit the ground one more time and roll for another 45 yards, I was in my man cave losing my damn mind because I was like, okay, all right. So in case nobody understands why Keon Coleman is back there returning these kicks, that's your answer right there. We saw it real quick, and nobody will ever complain about it again. Because
I don't want to ever hear it again.
No, we don't. We put it into that. I was like, what is he pointing at? The ball ain't that short. If you don't take them 2 steps up and catch it, he was pointing to like it was a short kick, man. That was 2 yards in front of you. He don't let it hit the ground, move out the way, and roll for another 30 yards.
So somebody put just a question. Do y'all think White would get an OC in the next 2 years? I mean, he got an offensive coordinator.
I think he mean like one who actually calls plays.
No, I think Tony once Atkins leave. I think the quarterback coach Tony end up being the offensive coordinator after that.
I honestly have no. I don't even. It's rare for me because I always feel like your head coach needs an offensive coordinator, but Mike does a hell of a job calling plays, man. Like again, look at y'all question the guy who drew that pass to
hey, you know what was funny?
To the tight end. I'm bad with name.
Did you see when Staples said that he thought what FSU was like getting bogged down early this season? He thought Alex Atkins was calling those plays, and then Mike took the play caller back over. I was like, okay, man,
we back here again. Okay,
yeah,
all right. You got to put out the chart. If it's a good play, Mike called it. If it's a bad play, Alex Atkins called it. God, we back there again? I thought we passed those days, man. What we argue about who called the dumb plays. Listen, if it's a dumb play, Mike called it because he also calls the good one. We gotta take the good with the bad, guys. It's just how it works. It's how play calling works. All of them ain't gonna be home runs, and every play ain't gonna go for a touchdown. I know. They're gonna be some dumb ones in there. We'll call them out when you get the dumb ones.
Did y'all see the Miami players posting comments? No, I don't follow it. I don't follow these kids on social media. I tell you something was funny though. I had posted this joke. I was being funny. They were talking about who would you take, Asante Samuel or Ronaldo Green? I was like, give me 7-year Jerry Jones. And
he got a little
actually slid in my inbox about that. He said I'm actually only in year 5. So shout out to Jerry Jones.
Listen, man, Jerry Jones is a testament to like for real hard work and not giving a damn about
enough.
Yeah, you will eventually become a good player. Yeah, you would listen. But again, it is about development, right? Because you at one point in time, Jerry Jones was an absolute liability. Like he was. Every time he got on the field, we was like, damn, 7 out there again. We're gonna get a 15-yard penalty. It's gonna be a roughing the passer. It's gonna be a fumble that he could have scooped up, but instead he didn't. Like it was a mistake. Every time he got on the field, it was a mistake. And they clearly shout out to the coaches for believing them and kept pushing it. Because every time I kept asking, why does Fuller have 7 on this field? But he continued to play, and now he is legit a very good football player. You know what I mean?
Like he is, man. He is.
He's a legit, very good football player.
No, he's been really good.
If you would have told me 2 years ago that we would have been like, yo, we need Jerry Jones to be in this game, we wouldn't have thought it. So, man, shout out to my boy, 7. Don't be so sensitive, man. We give you a hard time when you sorry. We praise you when you're good. That's just kind of the nature of football, bro.
Yeah, I thought that was funny. I was like, man, why is he? I don't even follow him.
Listen, he wants you to know he ain't been in there 7 years. It's only been 5 for him. You're gonna get it right. Yeah, you're gonna get it right. Shout out. Get him straight, 7. Don't let him crack jokes on your behalf. Number one graded DB in the nation.
This is a game. Jordan got to throw the ball away. If not,
that's what we just read.
On the backside, get hurt. He do need to throw the ball away. He also
need to run the ball more.
Well, this game, yeah, he can run the ball a little bit more in this game, but Miami back 7. Well, not the back 7. The cornerbacks are really susceptible. So I think you get a big Keon Coleman game and another big Johnny Wilson game. Yeah,
it's gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad. Keon sat outside, sat the sideline just to prove a point, and he gonna come back against Miami. It's gonna get ugly.
No, I don't think he set.
Bro, I'm just throwing. Listen, none of this stuff I'm saying is just. I'm just throwing out there.
I'm not doing that.
Yeah, I'm just listen. He did not sit the sideline for the purpose. Please don't take this seriously. Like we sorry to say, we have no. I have no inside information other than the hints that Sam threw out very vaguely that nobody was supposed to get. So that's the only information I got. So y'all got the same thing I got.
No, I'll just say I think
know,
that
man.
was I think that was gonna happen. That's all I'm saying. But hey, whatever happens, happens. That's what happens.
Y'all DM Sam. He'll tell y'all what he mean by that.
And big time college football shit happens.
Yeah. Listen, there's a lot that comes into these recruitments. You don't get Keon Coleman's, without some language.
Well, no, I ain't saying. Well, I'll tell you later, but I ain't.
Oh no, I know. Again, I'm not telling you to say anything.
How many flips or commitments? None. I don't think they get any flips or commitments this weekend. To be honest with you, I think all that's going to happen in December, November. November after Thanksgiving.
Once that Florida game hit 0, you're gonna see all the decommit letters and everybody who's out, and then you're gonna start hearing rumors about such and such was over at what's his name. He been a silent committed to this school for the long. That all happens in December leading up to signing day, man.
Yeah. That Jeremiah Smith thing is interesting because I really hope Florida State get him, man. But I don't know. That's a tough recruitment. That's a tough recruitment. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Listen, I don't follow recruiting. I'm out. We get them, cool. I'll celebrate it. We don't, cool. Listen, I told you, Travis Hunter is real. I don't follow these guys, man. Until the day that apparently we still faxing in commitments. Till the fax comes in through whatever fax. The fact that we're using fax machines in 2023 is still crazy, dog. I feel like there's an e-sign that we can e-sign this thing and have all these commitments done before 8 a.m. You know what I mean? We ain't got to save our day. We ain't got to worry about no hats on tables. We ain't got to do with all of this. But again, that's me being old. Man, you have y'all party and line up and line up to celebrate these kids as y'all gonna be all day at 2:00. I'm not gonna be doing it.
Right.
Y'all, I'll see the end result and then we'll come in here and talk about whether it was good or bad. I'm not. I'm telling you, Travis Hunter did me, man. Travis Hunter really, like, he ended my entire recruiting care.
That's never not gonna be funny.
It ended that day, man.
It's never not gonna be funny that day. Never not gonna be funny.
It ended. That was the day I decided I was no longer following recruit because nobody could not have convinced me he wasn't coming to Florida State and was gonna be great.
Yeah.
Imagine him in his offense.
Or defense.
Hey, him in his offense, I guarantee a chip. I guarantee we win. Him and his defense, our offense, I guarantee we win.
Yeah, think about it. Could have had him and could have had that tackle from Georgia. You'd have had both of those guys. Boom.
Guaranteed. I'd have called it. I think we all would have called it to start the season. You'd have rolled out with that group, wide receiver. Anyway,
I think that's what you're missing is a legit NFL left tackle.
Yeah, it'll make a big difference.
I think if you had that, it'll make a world of difference. To be honest with you.
Yeah, I agree. But all right, man. Sam, you got anything else?
No, I got nothing else. Man. I really appreciate y'all for being patient. My guy got married and engaged. What'd you do this weekend?
Oh, whoa, there, brother.
Oh, we ain't discussing that. No, because people feel like when I don't come on the pod at a certain time that it's me not wanting to come podcast.
No.
But sometimes it don't.
It don't always be so. Yeah, no. This one.
They say it's me. They say it's me. No, I don't want to come on the pod because we won. I'm so distraught.
Oh, that's right. You're not a fan. My fault. Listen,
this
y'all.
time I was ready to go.
I had to handle some business. I had to handle some business yesterday.
Yeah, I was ready to go. So
No, Sam was. Listen, we was gonna do it Saturday. Actually, Saturday night. To talk about it, we didn't, man, because of So I appreciate y'all. Thank you.
All right, man. That's all I got.
All right, man.
Yep.
This is the Listen Up Podcast. We out.